Gary, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you on this show, and we're here to talk about your new project. I'm so excited.
Yes, a black and white cookie is now currently made its West Coast premiere, my play, in Los Angeles. It's running through August 20th, and then simultaneously, August 11th through 27th, it'll be premiering at Center Players in Freehold, New Jersey. So it's very exciting. It's a play of its moment, because if I may tell you, the log line, it's about a conservative African-American newsstand owner, Harold Wilson, who finally reopens his business after COVID, finally. Then he gets hit with an exorbitant rent increase and he's forced to retire. He can't pay it. So enter Albie Sands, who's a longtime customer, a Meshuggah communist Jew. Your audience understands Meshuggah. I don't have to explain that, yes. Who's a radical of the 60s, and he tries to persuade Harold to fight back. They have many differences, which they must overcome, but ultimately, it's two people who make a friend. And it shows that there's more that unites us than divides us, which I think for our times, Sammi, without being preachy at all, I think that's an important lesson.
I think so too. So you wrote the play and you created all this. So tell me, what inspired you initially?
Well, I can tell you how the sausage was made. It was a few years ago. And I was sitting at a family event in New Jersey, and I was a little bloated from the baked ziti. And I was, this my in-laws, that's it, God bless them. And I was just sitting there kind of, and the way my creative happens, the door to the other side opened, and then walked the characters. And I hope it doesn't sound too precious. All right, I did a lot of drugs in the 70s. All right, there's that too. But they just came to me and they started, and I wanted to do something about people coming together. And so it was originally supposed to premiere in New York City, March 2020, if that date sounds familiar. So
yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, gee, we got canceled. And so it took over a year for it to finally premiere in Maryland at Silver Spring Stage outside Washington. And we had a COVID shortened 1 weekend run. And then last year it premiered in New York City, and it got a COVID shortened 2 weekend one. So thank you. People are healthy. It's interesting to actually hear the play, the audience response, because it's the first time I've heard the audience respond without masks. So you can hear them laugh louder.
It's amazing. Yeah. That had to be the best feeling in the world.
It is. Well, when you touch people, it's all about touching people as a playwright, as a writer. Well, you know what that's like. You want to reach out, and the beauty of the beauty of the magic of theater is it's instantaneous or not. People could just sit there going, I don't like this, but when they like it, it's beautiful. And there's a scene in the play where the two characters chant, and the audience spontaneously chanted along. Now, this is not Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know how they know what the chant was. And we figured, okay, it's opening night. And they did it again the next night and on the matinee. And that's when people come up to you. And again, it's not ego. It's, all right, a little ego. But it's really about, in a society where everything's so polarized. And all people do is yell at each other. And no one listens. As soon as you say, what do you mean? You voted for? You support this? You're demonized. And so what theater allows us to do is you have the audience, I like to say, they tiptoe into the theater and they eavesdrop. And they eavesdrop on all the flawed humans. And they're, trying to do the best they can, not always succeeding, but they listen. And whether they agree or not, at least they're listening. And I think that's really important. Absolutely. And it's funny too.
Absolutely. And I definitely agree with you with the whole canceling thing. You did this, you did that, you believe it. It's a lot. And I'm glad that your play is, kind of going against that.
Yes, it's not politically correct. There are a few lines in the play where people actually gasped. No one left.
Well, that's good. At least no one left.
No one left, but they were like, oh, she just said that? Well, yeah. Well, see, we're so caught up. And look, artists, we hold up a mirror to society. That's what theater has done for thousands of years, saying this is wrong. We're going to talk about this. We're going to address this. So, pay attention. But you have to be careful that it's not just about the message. It's got to be ultimately and first about the people.
Yes.
because it's right. It's the human beings, because no matter what our hyphenations are, we have many hyphenations, and we're not of a kind. We're many different things, but ultimately we are just people, and we have more in common than we don't. And I think it's important to show that, because the media is not going to let that happen, and the politicians don't want that to happen. They want to keep people, at each other. And I think it's time to try to come together, even if it's only for 2 hours in a theater amid laughter and poignancy. I think it's very important.
Yes, I do too. And what was the biggest challenge other than COVID of getting this all off the ground?
Well, because it's not, my plays turn things upside down, and I don't go according to the media narrative. For example, the main character, Harold, is a conservative African-American. He voted for Trump. That's what? Well, so I like to turn things upside down. The Jew in the play, Albie, isn't, without being a spoiler, he's not rich, far from it. He's not successful. So I try to take stereotypes and flip them up and make you look at things differently. And I also like to look at it's the good people who have to address bigotry. And the whole concept of, well, what you people are like. Because you and I, we've been you people, and everyone out there listening and watching have been you people.
Yes.
Because, well, you know what they're like, right? But it's the good people who mustn't look away from that. And the play deals with not the fringe, because I really don't worry. I can't remember the last time a neo-Nazi came to my bagel shop in Brooklyn. Really, they're not my concern. It's the people who accept the prejudice tropes, no matter against who it is, and don't act on it and say, well, that's wrong, but you know what they do. And we can't have that. And I think that's something also important to address.
Absolutely, yes. And without giving too much away, which one scene you're most looking forward to everybody seeing?
Oh, to me, and I always feel the writer is the worst person to address this, because I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but when you write novels, your name is in the novel. That's it, good or bad, whether and you're a writer, you know what I'm talking about. It's up to you. It's your fault if it's good, you get the praise if it's not. The wonder of theater is you collaborate. So you give it up to the director and the actors. And I'm blessed working with really wonderful actors on both coasts. And ultimately the audience. So it's the actors and directors' interpretation, and it's what the audience hears and sees, because your blue is not my blue. But I think, to me, there's one scene where the characters hug in an alley. And to me, it's when they realize they've made a friend. And that's the moment for me.
And what's next for you? I know you have this play that's about to start up, but what's next? I know you have an amazing book series as well.
Yes. So finally, my journey with my dystopian political thrillers, the trilogy, began in 2015, and with Bound Over Hell and A Fastball for Freedom. And now the final book, A Dugout to Peace, comes out in December. And just very briefly, the saga begins in 2098, after America has lost World War III to the Islamic Empire, and we're surrounded, and we are run by an entity called the Family, headed by Grandma. And among other things, it's a benevolent dictatorship. Among other things, social media is banned under the anti-narcissism laws, which really might be an idea whose time has come in 2020. So, yeah, really. I mean, maybe we should think about that. And baseball, which is disgraced, begins its final season ever at Amazon Stadium, which used to be Yankee Stadium. So it's about ordinary people who don't want to be heroes, who end up becoming heroes, doing extraordinary things and trying to save the world.
I like that. Now, any way that's going to become a movie, a TV series, anything like that in the future?
Not that I know of, unless you want to pitch it for me, Sammy.
I'm pitching it right now to whoever's listening. All 5 people watching this. Let's make this happen. I'm sure like my dog and cat that are listening right now might want to pitch it to someone.
Yes, please do. Please do.
I would love to see this, and I think a sci-fi kind of thing would be good for this. Or USA, something like that. So anyone from there listening?
Miniseries. Yes, miniseries. Yes, miniseries. Yes.
Yes, and now with the advent of streaming, we have so many streaming services. I could see it going somewhere.
Okay, all right. You're gonna set up the meeting for us, Sammi.
Yes, I will. I will.
Okay, all right, please do.
Yes, and one thing I like asking my people I interview is tell me a fun fact about yourself.
Well, I love yoga.
Really? Nice.
I love yoga. Yes. I studied martial arts for maybe 12, 13 years until January 2009. And I just gave it up because I got tired of hitting and being hit. And to me, the epiphany was there was a class on a Saturday morning, and this like 10-year-old white belt kept kicking me in the private parts. And it was like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing this to myself? So I took up yoga and never looked back. And I just love the yoga. It's I went to a class, and now I do it online. It's a wonderful thing for anyone out there. Don't say, oh, I can't stretch, because we all stretch. You stretch as much as you can, but it's really good for you.
Nice. If you like that, you should check out Tai Chi too. My mom does that, and she says it's a good hybrid of all of it.
Yes.
Nice. And since we're a TV site, what are you watching these days?
Well, I liked The Station Agent on Netflix. I liked The Diplomat, but then kept not liking it as the series went on. I don't know. I want to hear what you have to say about that.
But I have to say, we'll talk about that off air sometime.
Yes. Okay, fine. I loved Succession.
That was good. Yes.
I loved Jack Ryan.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yes. And I tried to get my wife interested in Homeland, but she didn't bite. So what can I do? She's not perfect. What can I do? I know. What can you do?
Okay. All right. Don't let her hear you say that. Come on. She's a wonderful lady. I love her voice.
Other than that, yes.
We got to get her on the show one day too. She's quite successful in her own estimation too. What is she up to these days?
Yes, she's an executive for a nonprofit, and she reviews theater.
I love it.
Yes.
She's an amazing woman too. So you guys are lucky to have each other.
Yes, we are. Yes.
And where can we follow you on social media so we can continue to follow your play, your book, everything that you're doing?
Well, I'm on Facebook and Instagram. I guess it's just Facebook.Gary Morgenstein.
Yes.
And then I guess that's how it is, right? And that's why I wrote a novel where social media is banned. And on Twitter, it's @WriterGary. And if you go to BHC Press, which is my publisher, you'll see all the comments and the reviews and further information about my novels.
Wonderful. Well, Gary, as always, it was a pleasure to have you on the show, and I can't wait to talk again soon.
And may I just get in shout outs to the cast, please?
Yes, absolutely. Do it.
My wonderful cast, the Sky Pilot production in Los Angeles. It's directed by Tootie Roche, and it stars Tommy Franklin, Morris Shaw, Aisha Kabia, Dylan Bowers, and Laura Trent, directed by Tootie Roche. And that's running at the 905 Cole Theater in Hollywood through August 20th, and then August 11th through 27th at Center Players in Freehold. The cast stars Arthur Gregory Pugh, Jackie Kusher, Dale Genesis, Vince Fay, and Jason Apora, directed by Bernice Garfield Cedar.
Beautiful. Well, good luck to all of them. Break a leg, as they say in showbiz. And congratulations to all. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Sam. You be well.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.